Welcome back. I'm Roy with Rugged Badger Racing and Team Parts Badger. This is our Ecotec swap Miata that we race in the ChampCar Endurance Series and more recently getting this car prepared for grid life. Today, we're going to talk about putting this car on a diet and reducing weight. Now, there are a lot of areas on this car that we can take out weight. We know this is heavy and a lot heavier than our last car. When we corner weighted this car, we got an empty weight at 2,068 pounds. It's pretty heavy. A lightweight Miata can end up in the 1950 range, somewhere in that territory. We are way over that, almost 100 pounds. So let's see how much weight we can take out. All right, so one area where I know we can shed a ton of weight are the doors. I have those off of the car. They are right here. Let's see how much weight we put in each door. 33 pounds. 33 pounds per door, and I have two of them there. Now let me grab one of the old Parts Badger car doors. I can already tell this is much, much lighter. So these doors weigh 13.2 pounds versus the doors that are on the car, which are over 30 pounds. So we got to get some trimming. Now, as we trim these out, they do certainly get flimsy, especially in this hinge area. So what we're going to want to do, leave a little bit of structure by the hinges here. I probably can actually take a little out of this area, but I'm going to leave a little bit more in where this latch is. Because particular for grid life rules, this hinge has to open from the inside and the outside. So I'm going to have to create an access hole or something like that so you can actuate that hinge, and I'd like to have enough stability that this latches properly every time. All right, a lot of cutting, but we have our door complete, and this door weighs the same as a Parts Badger door, which means we took 20 pounds out of this door. That 20 pounds is sitting right here. That is comprised of part of this outer frame, part of the inner support. They had some really heavy latches on here, and then I also have the upper support, as well as some odds and ends. Little trimmings are over there and frankly in the vacuum at this point. So let me show you what I did. I used a variety of different methods and a variety of different cutting tools. So you can look over here, I have my oscillating saw. I use that in the tight spots, as well as to get under the panels to cut the glue. You'll use this on the hood as well when you're trimming that. I used my big Sawzall. I used my hacksaw for the tighter areas, just so I can have a little bit more control. Got a couple extra blades here, and I also used my drill to drill out the spot welds. So on the door itself, a few things that are different versus the old door. So I left a little bit more material in strategic places. Let me actually show you on the old door here. So you can see the hinge mechanism, or the latch mechanism here, rather. I had to put a support because this was getting too flimsy. It's getting flimsy because we cut out material here and we cut out material here, and part of the support under there also bent. So I didn't want to make that mistake with this door. I left that material. What I did also on the top here, I left a little bit more support on the top, and I actually, instead of cutting this with where this top flange is just cut, on the other one I drilled out the spot welds. And now I have a 90-degree angle here, which is going to provide rigidity across the door. Same situation in the bottom. So for the most part, this is cut okay. I have one and then two bends, but I really don't have a lip on the third. So I wanted to keep a small lip here, again, to provide a little bit more rigidity on the bottom. I also, there's actually some additional material here in the Parts Badger door that I was able to cut out that wasn't necessary. That got me down to the weight I needed to be. So if you look at this one, it's much more clean. You can look at this structure here. I trimmed that up, and this is nice and clean. And then over here, I didn't remove as much material. You can see this whole bottom section remains, and I have a lot of section at the top, and then the support behind. And this makes sure that when I close the door, it latches. Otherwise, the door is so flimsy that you kind of got to get it to rock in place and then get it to latch, and it's a problem. So next up, I'm going to do the second door. So I did practice with the passenger door here. Now it's on to the driver door. Let's get that weight reduced, and then we'll go ahead and figure out how we're going to do the door pulls. All right, so rewiring some things on the dash of the car. We have this cosmetic panel. We also have this aluminum panel that serves as the top plate for the dash. Let's go ahead and weigh these, because what I did is I made a lighter version out of plastic. All we need is a dash cover. 170.2. And with the new panel, 168. So we're looking at a 2.2 pound reduction just by switching out those two panels. One we got rid of, and then we're just gonna put this in place of that one because this thing's just cosmetic anyway. Right around where it's been, 184. So 16.6 pounds out of the stock bumper. That's actually a lot lighter than I thought. I was hoping we could take more weight out of that. All right, so now I'm gonna compare the bash bar with just the bumper support. It's so much lighter now. 176.6. So you're looking at 9.2 pounds versus 10.8 pounds. So this bash bar, and I don't know if it's the thickness of the tubing used in this. We also have these additional flanges that were added. It's actually going to be lighter for us to run the OE rear support. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and get this cleaned up and painted, and I'm going to go cry over, I think this was about $250. That's now useless. I'm definitely not gonna run it on my street car. And then it has a nice scratch in it from shipping, so that's gonna make it a lot harder to sell. So that's disappointing. So if you're looking at bash bars, I'd say don't get one, at least if you're a racer. I would say just stick with the OE plastic support. That's gonna be a better option. And then frankly, strength-wise, I mean, you're probably gonna have better impact resistance with a factory one anyway. Yeah, because the way that this material is set up, this is designed for crashes, right? Not just a tube that some guy put together in his garage. So there you have it, disappointing. All right, so now we have the bottom of the fenders. Now we did cut these off prior to Autobahn, I believe. 171.8, so 3.2 pounds out of just the bottom of the fenders. That's material we don't need, and this just traps air. All right, so now I have these two spats. These are located behind the rear tire. We didn't need this, and this traps air as well. 171, so 2.4 pounds for these. Not needed. All right, so next up we have some braces that were added to the floor. I cut those out. We also have this massive tow hook that isn't needed, and we have a door bushing as well. I'm gonna compare that. All of that was swapped out, and I just put in one little fabric strap in order to meet the tow hook requirement. 169.4, 171.8, so 2.4 pounds for the tow hook, the braces, and the door bushing. We don't need these in the car anymore. Now, let's get the weight on all the stuff I scraped off the bottom of the trunk. So I used an oscillating blade with a scraper to get all this rubberized material out of the bottom. And let's see what we're coming in at. 169.4, and with all the stuff, 171 flat. So this is 1.6 pounds I was able to take out of the trunk just by scraping all this rubberized material off. All right, next up we have a bunch of electrical. So what we have here is the defrost, which the defrost wasn't working anyway. We have a second transponder. Let's get this out of there, that was part of that. And then all the associated wiring that was in the car. 171.8, so we're looking at 1.4 pounds of just added wiring and additional transponder. So this will all go in a bin in case I need it later, but for now, we don't need this in the car. All right, now, probably one of the biggest weight savings beyond the doors is gonna end up being this battery here. So let's get this away. This is what was in the car. It's an Odyssey battery, and it's been an absolute workhorse. It's been great to run electronics. I don't have to worry about ever starting the car, which is nice, but it's 23.6 pounds. That is a lot of weight. Now I have a couple Braille batteries left over. These are AGM style batteries left over from the old car. This is a 9, which should be 9 pounds. So let's see. 9.4 it clicks on. So that'd be 14.6 pounds in weight savings if we move to this battery. So I'm gonna give this a try and see if this fits. All right, now I have a bunch of heat shielding material, a bunch of insulation material. I have the hose for the battery drain, which isn't needed anymore, as well as a little aluminum foot brace. So this I'll weigh and then I'll dump it out. 171.8, so 0.8 pounds for all that stuff that's gonna go right in the garbage. Now we started this video, we know this is a pretty heavy car, coming in at 2168. Now this is a swapped car, but a non-swap Miata in lightweight trim, you should be at about 1950 without anything absurd. So we're quite a bit over that weight-wise. We were able to trim quite a bit of weight, 76.2 pounds. That brings our net weight, empty, no fuel, no cool shirt, down to 1992. Not bad. quite a bit of weight savings. Now, when you're talking about that amount of weight, quick math here, around 3-4%, somewhere in that territory of weight lost out of the car. That's not hundredths of a second, that's tenths of a second every single lap by removing that weight from the car. That's going to be less wear on tires, less wear on brakes. We're going to stop faster, we're going to accelerate harder. We are also going to be able to turn much better just by reducing that weight. So this definitely was well worth the exercise to get this Miata a lot closer to where it needs to be weight-wise. Now, we are racing grid life. Grid life measures with the driver at the end of a particular stint. I'm about 170, 175 pounds with my gear on. That would bring our competition weight to 2167, and we have a grid life target of 2139. That gives us about a 30-pound buffer. We're about 30 pounds overweight according to the grid life rule set. Not bad overall. That's also assuming a little bit more power. I think I did about a 2.5–3% buffer on power overall. So all in all, I would consider this a success. Now, if you like this content, please remember to like and subscribe. Give me a little of encouragement. I would appreciate it. Until next time, thanks for watching.